Hey, Mom, how's it going?
Hey, Justin. Good. How are you?
What? Hey, Justin. I feel like
Oh,
I should got like, hey, beautiful boy, my
oh,
bestest,
well, I
favorite
mean, it is.
son of all
How many
time.
times do I call you beautiful boy a lot? Have you noticed you've never graduated from boy to man? I don't say beautiful
No,
man. It's just no, you're my beautiful boy.
I'm always the boy, like in God of War.
Yeah,
Boy,
boy, boy. Yeah.
over here, boy. Yeah,
But yes, hello, my beautiful boy. How are you? You can edit the rest of that out, Justin.
that's true. I can edit that part out where you say
Or
like,
just whatever you
hello.
want me to say, like record some audio over the top of my mouth. And
With AI, I don't even need that these days. I just
I
need
know.
to hear your voice for like about five
I
seconds,
know.
and then I can recreate anything that I want you to say.
And see, in my job, you know, I
Yeah.
love editing audio. Love doing that. I love making people say things that they didn't say.
Yeah.
But but I have to have something to start with. So there's got to be
True.
a beginning place for me before I can make them really sound super bad.
But
Uh,
there's so much audio of you out there in the world
there's a
that,
lot.
I mean, the sky's the limit with everything that we could get the AI you to say. And it would sound perfect because there's so many words that you've said that
Yeah,
I mean, it can do it artificially to say, like, even if I'd never said the word house,
yeah,
it can pick up the cadence of my voice.
yeah. It'll figure
Where I
it
let
out.
it, Mike. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff that you can do with AI, which is pretty neat. But
It's
but Mom,
and neat and,
most,
and very scary.
yeah, very scary. We're gonna be gone anyways.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, um, just this past
they could
year.
have the radio show with Kelly in like 2090.
Oh no, yeah, super easy.
Yeah.
I wish they would have used my voice from like I don't know, 15 years ago though. Because as you get older, your voice gets a little thinner and hollower. In my
Your voice
opinion.
sounds great. Your voice sounds great.
Okay, well you're kind.
Yeah.
So anyway, there
Yeah.
are radio stations that are already using AI disc jockeys.
Oh, I'm sure.
There was
Uh,
this huge deal with this girl. I can't remember what her name is, but her company, she let them. It's like AI Amy. She was the first one in the nation, and
wow.
all the disc jockeys, we were all pissed in the radio community because
Yeah, because it only takes one,
it
to like
only
just
takes one. Hmm.
yeah. There was a movie a couple of years ago. Oh man, what is her name? She was in House of Cards. She was in Forrest Gump. She was Jenna in Forrest Gump.
Jenna, peas
Oh,
and carrots. Right. Robin
oh,
Wright.
Robin Wright. Yeah, and it was a whole movie about she she was an actress in Hollywood, but her career had gone downhill. And yeah, like this artificial intelligence company. I don't even know if it was called. Yeah, it's probably AI in this movie because it's not an old movie. It's like 2010 ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And and so they came to her and they were like, "We'll pay you millions of dollars to basically own your likeness for
Yeah.
all of eternity and put you in anything and everything that we want." I never actually saw the movie, but
Now I'm
yeah,
gonna have
it's
to look it up.
fascinating to think that.
She's
Man,
one of
we've
my
been thinking about.
favorites.
Yeah, she's amazing. She was awesome in House of Cards, and oftentimes I always forget that she was Ginny in Forrest Gump, and she was amazing back then. So,
Well, the thing that she was most amazing in is Princess Buttercup in The
Princess.
Princess Bride.
Oh wow, that's true. That's with Carrie.
Harry Ooze.
Yeah. That's right. Dang, that's kind of it. I forget that she was in that. She was very. She had to have been
She
like a
was
teen.
Yeah, super, super young.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Thought
that was the first time I ever saw
sorry.
her in anything. But
Yeah,
that was when I fell in love with her.
nice, nice. Well, Mom,
Hey,
I'm really I just want to talk about one thing with you today.
oh
Uh,
really?
yeah, well, of course. Like, I mean, let's get you watch The Walking Dead, and
Oh,
Rick's
I
back.
and I have it's been killing me to talk
Yeah.
to you about this. I really because we haven't had a chance.
No, we
Um,
have.
I didn't know how much I missed him. I
Yeah.
didn't. It's embarrassing. I as soon as his face came on screen, I heard
Yeah.
people everywhere screaming, and in my mind, uh,
Yeah.
because I did. But I was like I was watching it at New York Comic Con, you know,
Yeah.
and the crowd just went yeah,
It's Rick. He's
yeah,
back.
and then I started crying.
Oh,
I needed some Grimes.
I mean, he looked great.
Those scenes with him and Michonne in his mind in the real world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo, man,
Yeah.
he looked good.
I mean, we haven't seen him for what? Has it been 5 years?
I
Longer?
think it's 6.
God.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he really did. I think he did a couple of like maybe TV film things, but they were basically like UK based, like that. I mean, very limited
Yeah,
release in the US, and certainly not on like national US. No,
yeah,
no
the
Netflix
big scale.
or NBC, AB, like
Yeah,
yeah, no big scale stuff. So yeah, it's been a while, man. Yeah, he looked freaking fantastic. He had the Rick beard,
I know.
all the good stubble. I was like, damn, that's a good beard, dude. Um, yeah,
Everything was. I loved it. What did you think?
I thought it was great. Uh, I have to say, I was most looking forward to this talk. One, to find out what the hell some of the stuff was, because there was a lot of it that I didn't know what was going on, because I never finished The Walking Dead, like the last season,
I
and
don't.
I crapped out on Fear the Walking Dead. I never watched whatever the World Beyond, and I haven't seen all of the Daryl Dixon
Okay,
or
well, I watched all of Daryl Dixon,
yeah,
which is obviously a whole world unto itself.
yeah.
Um, uh, and I am looking forward to the Book of Carol. Uh,
Oh, is that it? Wait, they're not on the show together?
I don't freaking know. It's called Daryl Dixon, the Book of Carol.
Oh, okay, all right, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Um,
but
but
oh, by the way, I guess I didn't get to it. I absolutely loved the episode. I thought it
okay,
was
good
a
because
fantastic episode. It had like it brought me back to the early seasons of The Walking Dead,
yes,
but on another level in terms of like the production quality was
it
fantastic. It
was
was like, wow, this is amazing.
it was movie scale to me.
100%, yes.
Hmm.
Like it, some of those, later episodes of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and all this kind of stuff. I'm just like, all right, AMC, I get it. You're trying to pack in
Man, yeah,
the, trying to be on the cheaps.
yep.
Uh,
You're making them super dark, so we can't really see what's going on.
yes.
And
Which,
and yeah,
yeah, that was kind of crazy. Like that opening scene where Rick is running through the forest and he's like he's about to like plan his escape, you know, from the CRM. Uh, yeah, you could see all the freaking walkers. Now, I mean, I know there was some fire going on with the walkers
yeah,
themselves.
but you could see them.
Yeah, you could see everything. It
Hmm.
was beautiful. And like the
Hmm.
gore, I felt was like on another level of like, yeah, just the look and feel of it. It wasn't all grainy and like yeah, I don't know. The
It
production quality
was
was fantastic.
beautiful.
Yes.
Um, how? did you feel about them finally giving them comic book Rick
Oh, with the
missing hand?
stuffed hand.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was weird. I, I obviously like my initial was like, oh, okay. They're like, here's a tip of the cap to all those comic book fans that
yeah,
were like, why didn't y'all cut chop off
yeah,
his hand? Even though Robert Kirkman had mentioned like he was like that was the biggest mistake I ever made because it's hellaciously hard to like for Charlie Adlard to draw that every single time and like I have to remember he can't do this because this hand's cut off and like yeah, so I mean it was pretty intense, the scene. I was like, whoa, okay. And then the fact that he like put the nub in the zombie's
yeah,
body.
which was so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty rad. I you know it was worth it for the fact that now he has a freaking cool like
Yeah,
you know
with the little razor that comes out, that knife
yeah,
was
little
super
knife
awesome.
sticks
Um,
everybody. Yeah,
and the fact that it's in the shape of a hand makes it
yeah,
where it's a little bit easier to still not have to do so much crap with him, like green screen his hand
yeah,
out.
yeah,
I was very happy that I got to see his other hand in the flashbacks or the dream sequences
yeah.
because I like both of Andrew Lincoln's hands. I know it sounds creepy. I'm
It,
sorry.
Here's the yeah. I mean, you're on the creepy
on,
scale.
on the
You're
borderline of,
yeah, yeah. You're borderline. Like I feel
hey,
like Andrew Lincoln's
you
starting
know
to
I
get
have
strange
said
order.
way worse stuff
You have
about
said way
him.
worse stuff than like
Yeah.
there's some pretty hands.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, he does have some very lovely
He has
hands.
lovely hands. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
sure.
but I'm bummed if this is only going to be 6 episodes and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Um, I feel like with it being 6 episodes, that's a good thing to get Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera on board for more
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
I think that, and also, it's like I guess
They are
financially.
executive producers of it too.
Oh yeah, I mean it says like that they co-wrote the story
Right.
with Scott Gimple, which
Yeah.
is really cool. But yeah, I mean 6 episodes means you can stretch the budget further, which is
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Because that's something that has been needed on The Walking Dead for far too long.
Yeah.
They can tell tighter stories, which
Yeah.
again is something they've needed on The
I,
Walking Dead. I mean,
right.
I checked out for a reason, even though I have heard that the show got much better, and that the final season was a pretty good proper send off.
It was the final two or one and a half for sure.
Yeah,
When Angela Kang took over,
yeah,
and they got Scott Gimple out, so I was really sad to see Scott Gimple's name in
in the show
Rick.
credit.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I mean we
I'm not.
have to remember he saved the show at one point,
Did
and then I
he?
just think that it
Did he?
yeah
Yeah, I know he did.
so
Okay, he did.
yeah,
And then I don't know. The power went to his head or something.
something happened. I mean I think AMC happened,
Yeah.
because as we know from the AMC video games that are all just utter
Oh, those are
crap.
so bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all really really bad. We need to remove this here.
Oh,
Um,
it's so windy. I can't. I mean, it's blowing like crazy in your mic.
Good thing I don't have a toupee. It would be like
Oh, I know. Yeah.
everybody would know.
Oh, yeah. I always feel so bad for men that are bald in this kind of anybody that's bald that get out in the wind.
Yeah,
Although
I think
I follow
it's
this
that
girl on Instagram
yeah,
that that does this amazing work with toupees.
yeah.
She puts so much glue on there. Their stuff's not popping up.
No,
It's
I think that's just like an old movie
yes,
and film, like theater joke. Because yeah, I just don't see it coming off. But it's nice and still. Um, so you love the episode.
I did love the episode very much.
What did you think about Okafor, the new character that was there was two main new characters, maybe three, I guess. Okafor, Thorne, and I'm forgetting the guy that's like the water manager's name.
Oh, was it Garcia?
Esteban.
Esteban?
Esteban. Yeah.
Esteban? Yeah. Um,
Who'd you like the most out of the new
I
characters?
I loved Esteban, loved him, but
Yeah.
I loved Okafor, and I was very, very bummed.
Okafor got it bad,
Yeah, he did, and
and
I was
Michelle.
excited about his character.
Or not Michelle. Michelle. Michelle did that. Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle did it.
Hey,
It's been
oh,
a while, you know. You haven't kept up.
Michelle.
Uh, so yeah. What about you? What was your favorite character? New one.
Uh, I loved Okafor. I thought Okafor was great. I don't know the actor that played his character, but I think he did a phenomenal job making you interested in this character that you knew very little about in the span of one episode. Uh,
And
Two, he had a really kick-ass voice.
he did. Everything about him was kick ass. I mean,
Yeah,
he was super cool. I
yeah,
thought if they're gonna have such a cool character, he's gonna
yeah.
get to stay. I was wrong. I mean, they can't even pretend to put him back together.
No, no,
So
there's no like, oh yeah,
he was fine.
we got him back to the base, and
He lost a finger. That was all.
yeah, I mean, if he was like Deadpool, we'd
Yeah.
be okay. But yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, yeah, like Okafor, that was probably one of the most intense in like death scenes we've
Well,
seen in The Walking
and it
Dead.
was very, very surprising. I mean, they did a good job
Yeah,
of, you know, I mean, here we are in just kind of a casual situation,
yeah.
not expecting it at all. Okay, so what do you think about the guy from Lost being on there?
The guy
Isn't he
from
from
Lost,
Lost?
the general.
Yeah, isn't he? Wasn't he on Lost?
Ah, I mean, he's a very familiar character actor.
Yes, he
Oh, he
is.
was. You're right. You're right. He was on Lost. I
I
was getting
mean,
him confused with the guy that I think was on 12 Monkeys, Xander Berkeley or Xander. Or actually, he was on The Walking Dead. Never mind. Yeah, I forgot he was on The Walking Dead as well. But yes, no, he was one of the main characters in Lost, and
yeah,
yeah, I dig him so far. We didn't
I
get
like
much.
him too. I wish they would have got somebody that we didn't know.
I don't know. He did such a good job on Lost in terms of he played this character that you really liked, but you also really hated sometimes. And he had this. He played a very fine line of like, is he the villain? Is he the good
Yes,
guy?
yeah. So you never knew.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm at with him right now
Yeah,
because according to Okafor, you would think like, oh, this dude he's got some sinister sides to him, but then they have like he has that little sit down with Rick, and he kind of seems like, hey,
cool
this
dude.
seems like a nice enough dude. Doesn't seem like the guy that's like, yeah, go ahead and burn Philadelphia down, Atlanta down, like all these. Was it Omaha that got
Yeah,
destroyed? Yeah, Omaha. Yeah, so I I, I like him so far. I'm with you. Okafor was my favorite new character that they introduced. I do hope that we get maybe some back scenes, backstory with Rick
yeah,
and Okafor within that 5 year span.
yeah,
I don't know if we're going to get that because it does seem like maybe we get some Michonne backstory that gets us up to the present day in episode 2, and then it's just like the story from there. So
yeah.
I don't know. It was a good episode though. I've actually watched it twice,
Did you?
just
I
because.
wanted to, and um, life got in the way.
Well, I watched it the first time while I was doing some work at the same time, and
Yeah,
so I don't feel like I gave the show the due that it
that's.
deserved.
I was glad because you'd said something about that you were working, and I did. I
Yeah.
text you and say you need to pay more attention.
I mean, you may have like thought it in your
That's what I
mind.
wanted to.
How,
Uh-huh.
how dare my son work while he,
I'm
with
like this.
Ricky Grimes is on the show. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Drop
like
what you're doing.
don't you do Rick that way. Uh, yeah, no, I'm glad I did because uh, I think that there was a part of me that was like, are they going to screw this up? Is it going to be shitty?
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, you know what? I want to talk to my mom about it because it's Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
Uh, but do I give it that much of my time?
Yes.
And it does deserve our time. Like it was,
Yes.
I thought it was really great. I want to get my wife like to watch it, even though I'm like, do we go all the way back? And I think that's just, I mean, that's like 9 seasons
Yeah.
with Rick,
I
you
think
know?
um maybe there would be like season 1, season 2, and then pick and choose some great episodes, and then because I don't know. You were saying that there was some stuff that you really didn't understand that was going on because you
Well,
pieced
yeah.
out on the past 2, 3 seasons.
Well, I kind of spoiled it for myself. I went on YouTube. Um, and so I guess Rick was in 1 or 2 episodes. Like maybe he was in the like their series finale.
He was.
And
That was it.
and then maybe he in the Walking Dead Beyond or one of the Fear the Walking Dead episodes or something.
See,
Because
I pieced out on that one.
basically I was I just didn't know really much about the CRM, and all the little nuggets of information. I remembered the one with Jadis,
Right.
and the fact that like Jadis was like, I've got a B,
Uh huh.
and and Rick got in the helicopter, but that
Yeah.
was
Well.
really it. Like I was just
Yeah.
like, I thought maybe I'd missed. I didn't. With the episode, did a fantastic job of like sharing everything that a newcomer would need to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't feel mixed up in that respect, but I was like, oh, maybe I missed some like really good stuff in the shows, but I don't think it's needed.
I there might have been some stuff that I missed even because like I said, I didn't finish Fear the Walking Dead. I hate to admit
Yeah.
that publicly.
Well, is it over with, or did it just the season end with Fear?
This was the last season.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I
Um,
mean, I think it is. Yeah. No, I know it is. Yeah.
well, again, I watched the YouTube video and it was
That's
pretty up
all
to
you
date,
need.
and it was like an 8.5 minute long YouTube video, and it was just like, what is the CRM? What is A's and B's, or no, it didn't even say B's. It was like, what does the letter A mean in The Walking Dead? And that kind of like
Oh, because
me back
A
up.
comes up so much in The Walking Dead.
It
You remember
does. And I'm like, was
in a low key way.
very yes, and I'm like, were they that good? Were they like Vince Gilligan level good?
Nobody is
because
Vince Gilligan level. No one.
because yeah, but still, I guess actually what I even Vince Gilligan, if you go back and watch like those documentary, or like the behind the scenes,
Yeah,
he he didn't have the plan from A to Z, but
but
what
he
he
knew
did
how to
do,
tie them up.
yes, they were very respectful of the things that they planted, and they're like, okay, what can we do with this in this episode that ties it back to earlier? And so obviously, like they knew. I mean, they had been putting this A stuff out there for a very long time, and I
Yes.
do think that they tied it together very nicely. Like thinking back to Terminus and how Rick and them were in the A
Hey,
car,
uh-huh.
which
I know.
which means that they
I
had to die.
Yeah,
That was pretty. I'm pretty impressed.
I know. Me too. I was very impressed. So
Yeah.
I like good storytelling
Yes. Same.
and storytelling where they don't just tell a good story and just let you float off into the distance with it
Yeah.
because that's not a good story,
No,
if
it
you know
is
what I
not.
mean.
No. I agree. I agree.
Okay, so
Oh, what is that?
Um, so I'm on where I'm walking is actually, I think, a little the whatever the bikes that you get out here and you know be a
Oh,
badass
okay.
on the bikes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
bike
they've
trail.
got yeah, so they've got all these little cute things along the way. Uh,
That's
like so, I mean, there's a bunch of interesting things to. And that other one said Mr. Jim Shorts, which I'm not sure what that is, but
Mr. Shorts.
it does make
Okay.
it interesting.
Well, your walk's much more interesting than mine. Mine is just around the neighborhood
Yeah,
multiple
mine
times.
and I've got a little uphill thing happening right here. So
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you some really difficult questions as you go up. So my I mean, there's a million questions that I could ask you about this episode. Um, I know that you now loved it. What did you think about the ending? In two parts here.
okay,
The obviously the ending, the Michonne and Rick reunion,
yes,
but two, the Michonne brutally murdering everybody in the CRM's helicopter.
I thought that I thought that may cause some problems.
Who do you
Uh,
think caused problems with though, Rick or the CRM, or both?
well, it's gonna cause problems with the CRM. Rick doesn't. He obviously doesn't care. He was still trying to get away. So
Does he not care though? He gave Okafor that like very moving and touching story about his dad, and he was like, "I'm in. I'm all the way in."
yes, but in his little mind narrative, didn't he say something about bullshit?
No, well, he had burned all the
I know he
Michonne
did.
stuff.
Yes,
Like he was like, I'm realizing, I'm coming to the realization that my life died, like what Thorne was telling him, right? Like they didn't die, but you did.
yes.
Yeah,
So all the things you're doing is to make the world better, just in case they are still in it.
yeah,
I don't know. Michonne brutally killing them. That's going to be interesting to find out why. Thank
yeah.
God there was one. I had one issue in the
Okay,
whole show, and that
okay.
was that she took Rick's helmet off.
Of course, yes. I mean,
Yeah,
it was that is one of those. I was I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, what would have been better as if it would have just
knocked his
like
helmet off
yeah,
as
as he
he.
came out, it knocked
Yes,
off, and he's still back there scrambling. He doesn't. I mean, he still couldn't see her,
right.
but like as he comes and he like picks up the gun to try to like hit her.
Yeah,
That's when
and
she hit him,
yeah,
and
whips
that's when
around, but pulling his helmet off when we already saw in the background that she didn't
yeah,
take the time to do any of that with those other dudes. What?
yes,
Don't do that kind of stuff. That bugs the crap out of me. Um,
yeah. That is one of those ones. I'm like, was nobody in the room thinking it?
did y'all not watch this back?
Yeah, yeah, yes,
You
yes,
know?
because they're like Video Village and they're like watching the scene back and everything, and
Yeah,
nobody was like, oh, that probably doesn't make much sense that she like just slit everybody else's throat
yeah,
immediately. That she certainly didn't try to take their helmet off.
yeah. I mean, the other guy right before was screaming no,
Yeah,
and
no, no,
she's like,
but
nah,
I'm Rick's
whatever.
friend. I'm Rick's friend. You know?
Exactly, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was weird. Um,
yeah, that was weird.
but okay, after all this time, why isn't Michonne taking care of those beautiful babies?
Oh yeah, I mean the kids, fuck
Yeah,
them
because
kids.
obviously
That's basically what both of them said.
their daddy Daryl, who was the one taking care of them all
Yeah,
this time, he's in France.
yeah. Well, she
So
doesn't know.
she knows he's not there. Well, I guess she doesn't know.
Yeah, she
She
doesn't
probably
know
hasn't
that.
been back to see check on him.
Yeah, she's like, yeah. But I mean, I do think that I, I think that they're going to tie the CRM. I mean, I haven't watched the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon show, or I haven't watched the Negan and Maggie show, but I do feel like I feel like it's all going to come to a head, and we are going to get like a 6 episode, you know,
All Out War.
combinations. Yeah, all out war,
Hmm.
something like, or it's just going to be them. I mean, right now we don't know why the CRM. At least Okafor told us about like some of their shady stuff, but we don't really know all of the details yet.
So,
We
what
can
does CRM
assume
stand for?
it's like the Civil Republic Military or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I had to look it up on the internets because yeah, I don't remember them saying in the episode at all. But all right, well, Mom, I'm glad that you finally, I'm glad we
Got to
made it.
see. Yeah.
We lived
Me
we lived
too.
long enough
I
to
wasn't
see
sure that it was going
Front
to
back.
happen.
I mean, all those failed movies. I was like,
Yep.
yeah, that stuff's not ever gonna
Yep.
happen,
He's
and
done. Andrew
it did.
Lincoln's done.
It
Yeah.
happened,
It did
and not only
happen.
did it happen, but it was actually really good.
Yeah. And I'm here for it. And
Me
you're
too.
here for it. So
I am. I can't wait till to watch it next week. What?
I know, me
I'll
too. By the way, are you going to get AMC Plus? And what's the
to watch it
username and
early.
password? Huh?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Um, I don't. If we could watch it early, if we could watch it on Sundays, like during the day, I
Yeah.
would. I would get AMC Plus. At least for like the 6 episodes, and then cancel.
Although knowing AMC, they'll give us 3 episodes and then take a 2 month hiatus.
If they try to pull that, then we're gonna do an AMC rant video, and it's just gonna be
Yeah.
one long walk talking crap about AMC. I mean, they'll block it. We
Yeah.
just it's like we basically said the name AMC. They'll probably copyright strike this video, even though there's no footage of the show, anything, because
Yeah.
they are definitely that's their favorite thing to do.
Which
So
is so dumb because we podcasted early on.
oh yeah,
We weren't the earliest, but still there was
no,
like me
we were
and
there by we were like season 3,
yes,
something like
and
that.
there was maybe two other podcasts out there. Maybe there
Yeah, there
wasn't
wasn't a lot.
much,
No.
and it was the podcasters that got the word out about their show. So,
Yeah, podcasters, YouTubers,
yep.
for sure. So,
Yeah. Anyway,
well, all right, Mom.
I'm glad we got to talk about it.
Me too. It was fun.
And can we talk again soon? Maybe do another walk very soon because I have construction stuff to talk about, home remodeling stuff, and I need somebody to vent to.
We might can get that in. All
Okay,
right.
that'd be great. All right, sweetie. Love you. Thanks for
Bye.
the good walk.
You too. Bye, Mom. Love you.
Bye.